I mean, we were shaking our heads when it went down, and I know you were too. James Harden got his wish again, just 13 months after forcing his way out of Houston. He did the same, and now he's in Philadelphia. Why should we believe that this time will be different for James Harden?
You know why? Because Joel Embiid put the world on notice that not only is he's improving his game individually, but that he wants to win. And he's starving to win a championship, and he wants to be great. And now all of a sudden you have a superstar guy in James Harden that looks over there and say, hey, this guy's trying to accomplish the same thing I'm trying to accomplish, and that's win a championship. And so when you look at what James Harden was going through with the Brooklyn Nets, all the drama and everything else outside of basketball, we have to remember, Kevin Durant, he got 2 rings. Kyrie Irving got a championship. Not saying that they're not hungry for more, but they're not starving like James Harden is. So James Harden was like, I'd rather be with somebody that's committed full time, that has great culture, a guy that's ready to win, a guy that's unstoppable to guard. I can go pair up with him, and I like my chances with him in Philly. And I'm familiar with the general manager over there, so it's the trust factor.
Yep, with Daryl Morey, of course, his former GM in Houston. But the thing is, even when he was on the court, certainly not healthy all the time, he was not having a good season in Brooklyn, though. Some of the lowest shooting percentages of his entire career.
Yeah, but hold on, Sage, because look, I got a couple of notes. I got a couple of notes I read down now. You have to remember, listen, when on Christmas Day, James Harden, I believe, had 39, 10, and 10 on the Lakers, and then he backdoored against the Clippers 2 days later and had 38, 15, and 7, and that was without Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant on the floor. The fact of the matter is that his numbers were down because he did not want to play with Kyrie. He was sick and tired of Kyrie not being held accountable in film room. When Steve Nash was telling him that, hey, James, you're taking bad shots, but not saying the same thing to Kyrie Irving, now all of a sudden, when you see James Harden not being aggressive, not the usual James Harden we're accustomed to seeing, and everybody is like, oh, he's out of shape, he's injured. No, he just didn't want to be there.
Which is a whole different conversation I need to have with you in a commercial break, because I got issues with that. But what about Ben Simmons? I mean, talking about struggling, we know that what he has struggled with on the court, off the court. Why do you think, or do you think this time will work for him now that he's in Brooklyn?
Well, you know what? It's always great to have a fresh start. And one thing we can't deny, Ben Simmons, I believe, is 24, 25, around
He's
that
young.
age. He's still young. One of the best defensive players in the game today. And his ceiling is still very, very high, and he hasn't even scratched the surface of his potential. Here's the thing about Ben Simmons. It was never a knock on his game. It was always a knock on his confidence, his mental toughness. We saw that last year in the postseason against the Hawks. Now, it's going to come down to whether or not Steve Nash is going to put him in position to be successful, and if Kevin Durant is going to step up to the plate and take him under his wing and be a leader as a little brother, somewhat of what the Golden State Warriors did for Andrew Wiggins.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.